Money, 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 money. Yes, Money in the Bank is back. And it's back with WWE Universe. The fans are back. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, we talk about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view event where we have 2 ladder matches, 2 championship matches, even more matches on the preliminaries coming up. Also, too, we'll talk about what's going on with Hot Topics as a returning face could be coming back, a big name coming back to WWE and trying to land where he should, getting back in the championship picture. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show presents to predict the outcome for WWE Money in the Bank, and it starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. It's one of our 2 counter pieces as we had Impact Slammiversary, and now we got WWE Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank coming your way from the Dickey Center in Fort Worth, Texas, near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And what a card Money in the Bank should be. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Money in the Bank is back. The WWE Universe is back. What a land of rejoice. As we saw this past week on SmackDown, SmackDown returned back on the road with WWE returned back on the road with SmackDown. And the fans were elated. You saw a lot of pops. You could tell they back into their normal realm. A new set design, which I think they used that WrestleMania 35 set design, just that big set. They want to go with that going forward. So, it is what it is. But a lot of matches and a lot of storylines to catch up first. So, let's get started with the Money in the Bank predict the outcome card. All right. Now, a lot of these matches we'll just get to it. The first one is the 8-man Money in the Bank ladder match. The winner receives a world championship of their choice, of the brand, however you want to put it. 4 men from Raw, 4 men from SmackDown compete for the ultimate opportunity to win and grab the briefcase and be Mr. Money in the Bank and have that for a whole year. Now, we know the participants are representing Raw, Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, and Drew McIntyre. I know some of them been in this already, but we'll tell you a little bit. Also, representing SmackDown, Big E, Kevin Owens, King Nakamura, and Seth Rollins. Some of these men had their respective Fatal 4-Way matches this past week on Raw and SmackDown with I think Ricochet and John Morrison had a match. And it's been the best of series matches. If you may recall, Ricochet and John Morrison used to wrestle on Lucha Underground under different names. And now to see them wrestling WWE is kind of amazing. This past Friday on SmackDown was a Fatal 4-Way with Big E took on Kevin Owens, took on King Nakamura, and Seth Rollins in a Fatal 4-Way match. Now, I guess it was nothing was just about gaining momentum. Seth Rollins started the match off just trying to let them 3 fight it out, and then them 3 just started attacking Seth Rollins and doing high spots to one another. But at the end, we saw Kevin Owens try to go up to the top and try to make a point and slam on King Nakamura. I think that was I don't know. That was just too much. It was Kevin Owens I know you trying to get back with the fans and trying to get that crowd participation, but man, you could have just saved that for the pay-per-view. But Seth Rollins took advantage, used the curve stumps on Big E, stumped Big E into that ladder, and Seth Rollins won, gaining himself momentum. So, I mean, it could be anybody's ball game when you look at it. It could be Seth Rollins' ball game, which he's been clearly a favorite because Seth Rollins has won the Money in the Bank ladder match before. Trying to see who else won it. Just Seth Rollins. He's the only one that won it Everybody else has been in the Money in the Bank ladder match, had got some experience, but never won the briefcase. So Seth Rollins is the only one that clearly could win it. I would think I'm going to root for Drew McIntyre winning because Drew can take that briefcase and probably win back the WWE title, the title that he cannot challenge for long as Lashley is the champion. So look for Drew McIntyre to win and Seth Rollins be close, be bitter, angry, and disappointed. And we'll get to that with Seth Rollins will be bitter, angry, and disappointed too. So look for Drew to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Also, WWE champion Bobby Lashley might not have to look further for Drew McIntyre to come over his shoulder. And if Drew wins it, he might just cash in on Bobby Lashley. Who knows? Well, Bobby Lashley has a lot on his plate as he goes against Kofi Kingston. Bobby Lashley will have MVP in his corner as Xavier Woods will be in Kofi's corner. I know this is the first time in a long time that two black men are vying for the WWE title. Kofi Kingston, former WWE champion. You remember Kofi Mania from WrestleMania 35. So now it just goes to a head. Who will emerge? Bobby Lashley kind of was, like to be the ladies' man and like to play around and take his time. Like, he's still dangerous, but, don't let them fool you. Well, this past week on Raw, Bobby Lashley looked like he was serious. He didn't want to play no games. Bobby Lashley was in a match against Xavier Woods, and he lost to Xavier Woods in a inside cradle. Bobby Lashley felt like it was humiliating, embarrassing to be on his reach. So Bobby Lashley said, enough with the shenanigans, enough with the fair playing. It's time to get serious, time to get busy. And told MVP to escort them ladies out. How would you do that, escort ladies out when ladies trying to help ease the tension and stuff? Well, Bobby Lashley said he don't need no ladies right now. He want to be a dominant, brutal champion. And he's going to do so to Kofi Kingston. And we'll see if Kofi Kingston could survive Bobby Lashley in that hurt lock. So look for Bobby Lashley to retain his championship over Kofi at the Money in the Bank event. Also, too, the tag team titles on the line from SmackDown as Rey Mysterio and Dominic defend their championships against the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. A tremendous match this past week on SmackDown where a six-man tag team match where the Usos teamed up with their cousin Roman Reigns in a six-man tag team match against Edge and the Mysterios. Good match to kick off SmackDown. Good match to start off the show with an opening match. The crowd was in it. Edge got his compass. We'll talk about that. But Jay got the pin, rolled up Ray, and got the 1, 2, 3. Could history repeat itself with Jay winning the match and doing it again this night, tonight? We'll just have to wait and see, because if that does happen, we could be crowning new tag team champions in the Usos. And the Usos will be holding all the gold with Roman in their corner. So look for the Usos to probably win the gold, and then hit the SummerSlam, and the Reigns Dominic challenge them at SummerSlam. There they go. Also, too, the Raw Women's title is online. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. These two women do not like each other. They have a historic history and historic past. But Rhea Ripley now looking to play mind games with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair's not in the mood. Doesn't feel like it is not necessary. Well, Charlotte got to bring her A game because Rhea Ripley continues on doing what she's doing. She could probably get inside Charlotte's head. So I said last month that Charlotte was going to win, but I didn't know Rhea was going to pull a fast one on. Look for this time Charlotte winning in front of a live crowd and rubbing it in on the live crowd's face. So Charlotte Flair doing her little salacious and probably they thinking to set up a match between her and Becky down the road. So you never know. So look for Charlotte to win that match. All right. That ends the first half of the predicted outcome for the Pro Wrestling Show's Money in the Bank. Coming up next, we talk about hot topics like what's going on in the ladies and hot topics. I mean, it's a lot going on. And we heard that a big name might be returning sooner than you think. The challenge of a champion. Who could that be? You just wait and find out. All this and more on the Pro Wrestling Show continues after this. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kid Dix here. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Here, as we conclude with the Pro Wrestling Show, predict the outcome for Money in the Bank. But we'll get to Money in the Bank later on in the show. But first thing first, joining the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. Yes, we'll get to the Money in the Bank, the second half of the Money in the Bank. Predict the outcome later on in the show with match predictions and previews. But let's get to hot topics. On hot topics this week, what a hot topics we talk. Get you up to speed. Let's get you up to speed right now. A big name from wrestling's past is coming back to challenge a champion. We heard rumors and reports that Bill Goldberg, yes, Goldberg, may return and challenge Bobby Lashley. Now, a lot of people are shaking their heads and scratching their heads like, ain't Lashley supposed to go against Brock Lesnar? Now, there's been a new picture of Brock Lesnar. We'll get to that later, what's going on with him. But Bill Goldberg to face Bobby Lashley, I mean, what is they doing with Goldberg? They just taking all the mystique out. Goldberg just doing it for a check. They just write him a check like, here, Goldberg, just come back and just lose to Bobby Lashley. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fair match, but I feel like people want to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar while they're in their prime. I don't get why they do that. I just think the BS to me, they just do it just because they think they can just do it. It just add another program or add another layer to what's going on. Next week, we found out that Toni Storm, the girl with the round-shaped booty, Toni Storm from in Brit, she's coming to SmackDown. They've been doing vignettes over, and now she's finally coming. She's gonna showcase her skills. And who thinks Toni Storm is a future SmackDown Women's Champion? I do. Toni Storm is going to bring it, and I think she just recently came out as bi. So. Okay, well, hey, that's your business. That's your business. Speaking of that, Mr. McMahon surprise return, and came while the opening of SmackDown to thank the audience and told them, where have you been? Mr. McMahon now in his mid-70s trying to run the WWE. And hopefully he tries to get back on those disappointing ratings because the ratings are tanking. Ooh. No, they go. Also, too, TJP pulled from Impact Wrestling Slammiversary. TJP, mainstay Impact, who was the first WWE Cruiserweight Champion of this modern era. So, let's just see on that. Also, too, AEW coming close by hitting 1 million this week. So, AEW getting back to the basics again with the 1 million watch. Let's hope to see if they can bring that from to TNT to TBS and help TBS out a little bit. Also, too, speaking of Brock Lesnar, this picture right here resurfaced. Brock Lesnar with a ponytail and a beard. He looks totally different from the Brock Lesnar that we know. Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, the next big thing. Now, Brock Lesnar looks totally different. I think he's working becoming a butcher. I mean, all right, if he's want to be a butcher, let him be the butcher. He'd be the new butcher, the butcher of wrestling, Butch. Speaking of that, another surprise return. Harry Smith wrestled in SmackDown from the live audience in Houston before the live show start. Harry Smith back in the WWE. We don't know for sure what's going to be happening going forward with Harry Smith. And Harry Smith last wrestled in WWE in 2011. So we'll see on that. Also, too, WWE with the AEW with the Grand Slam with New York City nearly sold out with 17,000 fans. And a lot of people, even Dave Meltzer, said this could be a slap in the face of Mr. McMahon if AEW sells out in a New York crowd type. So we'll see. We'll see on that. We'll see. Because I think AEW, they've been on the ball. They've been working their butts off. The television has been good. And I think too, you have to when you writing, people don't remember all that. Just go with bullet points and just keep it as copacetic as you can. I think sometimes people don't keep it copacetic. So you know how they go. Also, too, we want to remember Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Paul Orndorff, the first WrestleMania main eventer with Roddy Piper. They both in heaven. Long live them. When they went against Hulk Hogan, Mr. T. So Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff passed away this week at the rightful age of 71. And we hope, we pray Mr. Wonderful is at peace and he rests well, and his family is. Like his son did an interview with Hannibal TV. I think there's just two. His father just died Monday, and now you're doing an interview on Friday. I mean, sometimes you got to be a little bit more careful because you don't want to shed that legacy, shed it like his son saying he's doing it because he wants folks to see. But it's another way you can do it rather than trying to diminish. I don't think Mr. Wonderful's legacy is diminished. I just feel like his son didn't try to have the foresight to be like, okay, now we're doing too much. Let's pull it back a little bit. Let's pull it back. So hopefully his son, knows you don't want to exploit your dad, but you want to make sure in the right proper channels and stuff. So there you go. All right. And finally, Finn Balor returns. There was many rumors and reports where Finn Balor was going to head. Many people thought Finn Balor was going to Raw. That wasn't the case. Finn Balor is heading to SmackDown, and Finn Balor made a impressive return back to SmackDown when he had confronted and attacked Sami Zayn, as Sami Zayn continued on with these conspiracy theories. And Sami Zayn conspiracy theories continued as Finn Balor made quick work of him. So I think Sami Zayn gonna have to learn his lesson the hard way than many others do. All right, that is Hot Topics. Let's move back. Let's move forward with the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Predict Outcome for Money in the Bank. All right, the second half. We're back with the second half. Money in the Bank comes your way from the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. All right, now we know Money in the Bank is that the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, the women gets a Money in the Bank briefcase, and 8-woman Money in the Bank briefcase. And the 8 women are representing Raw will be Asuka, a former Money in the Bank winner who won last year and won the Raw Women's title in the dust in the process. Naomi wants to get her shot at the Money in the Bank. She competed in Money in the Bank ladder matches before. Alexa Bliss, another former Money in the Bank winner, and competed in Money in the Bank ladder matches. Nikki Ash, this is her first Money in the Bank ladder match. The superhero, the aspiring superhero, almost a superhero, Ash. So Nikki Ash trying to win her first Money in the Bank by flying up and grabbing that briefcase. Good. Okay, representing SmackDown, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan replacing Carmella when Carmella was in action against Bianca Belair. And Carmella, I hate to say it, the most beautiful woman in WWE. She is the most beautiful woman. I believe so. She went against Bianca Belair. Props up to Bianca and Carmella. It was a fantastic match they had this past week on SmackDown. But Bianca Belair emerged victorious once again. Come on, Carmella. Come on. You said you're the most beautiful woman. You are the most beautiful woman. Come on, win it. The women's title. Also, too, the return is Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega returns. She wants her crack at that briefcase and cash in at Bianca Belair. She made mention that Bianca Belair and her got unfinished business. I mean, from Monday Night Raw. There you go. And both women's tag team champions, Natalya and Tamina, will compete. They both have competed in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So this time, I mean, it's a girls free for all in this. So I look at it like this: anything can happen. Anything is possible. A lot of people are saying reports that Becky Lynch may return and be a surprise entrant. Who knows? But we just have to wait and see. So I might go with what they're saying. They're saying Becky Lynch might be in attendance backstage or might be there some way in capacity in this women's ladder match. So I'm going to say Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch gonna come back and return and win the briefcase and try to challenge whoever. She can challenge Bianca Belair or Charlotte, whoever she set her eyes on. I mean, everybody in this women's match may have a good case in point, but I really don't see nobody winning it. See Becky Lynch winning it. So look for Becky Lynch being a surprise entry going forward. Also, too, another tag team championship matches. AJ Styles and Almonds defend their goal against the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. They had a singles match, respectfully, this past week on Raw, where almost still got new work on his wrestling ability, and I hope AJ Styles helps him out and kind of guides him. But look for AJ Styles to pick up a win and manage to win some way, somehow with Amish. Is Amish the big guy with strength, brutality, and his size. So look for AJ Styles and Amish to retain their Raw Tag Team titles going forward. And finally, the main event at Money in the Bank will be the Universal Championship match as champion Roman Reigns defends his championship against the Radar Superstar and #1 contender, Edge. Now, this match was supposed to happen at WrestleMania 37, where Edge felt that he had it in the bag until Daniel Bryan weaseled his way into the match, thus making the triple threat match. Edge didn't get the match that he wanted, but Edge, in an embarrassing fashion, got pinned like Roman Reigns stacked Edge and Daniel Bryan on top of each other. It was embarrassing. It was not in a good fashion, but it happened. Well, Edge returned this past month on SmackDown, vowing revenge. He won a one-on-one match against Roman Reigns after Roman saying that he has conquered everybody that anybody can put at him on SmackDown. And Edge came back and said, "You didn't put me down. You thought you did, but you did it." So Edge and Roman Reigns trying to battle each other. They had that 6-man tag team match where I told you earlier that the Usos teamed up with the champion, Roman Reigns, versus the Mysterios, the tag team champions, and Edge. Well, Edge tried to get the final scrawl and payback. Roman tried to get at Edge. Edge had tried to use that chair bar and tried to break the Usos' mouths and Roman's mouth. It was a stunning defeat, stunning look. And Roman Reigns was tapping, looking like he was about to tap out, and he passed out, tapped out. Edge got the last say-so. Well, Edge also, too, got a little bit of an issue, too, behind the scenes. Now, they're creating the basis that Edge and Seth Rollins have attention. Well, I'm kind of glad they brought that up because Edge was, a couple of years ago, Edge was a guest host and Seth Rollins almost tried to break Edge's neck. And Edge then forgot about that. Seth Rollins never forgot about that. And Seth Rollins brought up the Edge and said, "I could have just done what I should have done years ago." Well, this time it's going to happen, and it's going to happen in a way that we don't know. I think Edge will be close to winning, but Seth Rollins will cost Edge the championship. Thus, they'll start their feud at SummerSlam. Edge and Seth Rollins with unfinished business from 7 years ago when Seth Rollins wanted to bring back Triple H and Stephanie, when John Cena was into the mix, when John Cena had the power. Edge almost got his neck broke. And Edge, they forget about that. Edge want that rematch and revenge on what Seth Rollins did years ago. So look for Roman Reigns to retain his Universal Championship with the help of Seth Rollins. So that does it for the Pro Wrestling Show this week. So join us when we do the weekly Pro Wrestling shows for our respective ring reports now. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW. So for me being Kendrick Dix saying so long, enjoy Money in the Bank. Like I said, enjoy it. Who's going to emerge victorious? I said Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre will grab their respective Money in the Bank briefcases and win, and hold on to it, become the new Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. So, for me being Kendrick Dix saying so long, we'll see you at Money in the Bank. See you later.